Greetings, Rajee Narinesingh here, transgender activist, author, and actress. So, America now has a monarchy. Yes, King Trump and Queen Melania. I'll explain in a minute. But I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are probably thinking, I don't give two craps about what you think. I'm a transgender, multiracial woman of color with a number of health issues and mental issues. No, but I have been on a couple reality shows. Yes, Botched season 2 and 3. I am Jazz. So this election has been a reality show. I think I can weigh in. Besides, I'm an American citizen and I have a right to give my opinion. So I sit here today absolutely shocked at the results of the election. Donald Trump, Mr. Donald Trump, is our next American president. Wow. And I know I'm not the only one. As I watched the news last night, you could see these political pundits and even the media, they were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that this was actually happening. Okay, so the appeal that Donald has, well, I believe that a lot of Americans like the fact that he isn't a politician and he's a successful businessman. And I think that they thought, okay, this is something different. Why not mix it up a little bit? Throw him in there and see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I'm just here sitting trying to figure it out. Now, I will say this. There were a lot of secret Trump voters. Oh, yeah. A lot. I mean, because think about it. The polls were all showing pretty much that Trump and Clinton were neck and neck. And if one was leading here for a little bit or by a few points, the other was leading by a few points, but it was pretty much neck and neck. Obviously, people were lying or they just weren't saying who they were voting for. From personal experience, I have 3 friends that voted for Trump. And they were pretty low-key about it. Yeah, especially one of my friends. She didn't tell anyone but me. And let me tell you, I teased her and I said, well, if you're supporting the man, you need to be proud about it. But I understand the election was very volatile. Very volatile. And I can understand people just wanting to stay low-key about it. Yeah, but definitely, because according to the polls, this is not what we saw happen, okay? So yes, America has a monarchy. Well, not really. I mean, we are a democracy. The reason why I'm saying I kind of feel like, with Donald Trump going into the White House and being our next president of the United States, 45th president of the United States, that it's like a monarchy. The Trump are an American dynasty. The Trump name alone. This man is very, very rich and owns a lot of property and is really American royalty. So, when I say, King Trump and Queen Melania, that's what I mean by that. Uh, Now, Melania is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Very elegant. I think she'll definitely add some elegance to the White House, as did Michelle Obama. The kids are just so dynamic. I mean, they are living some really full lives. Uh, the that speaks to something about Donald Trump. That the father he is. It speaks to that, to the fact that these kids are being quite um, successful in their lives. But that Baron, oh my God, oh, I know he's only 10, But I'm looking at the TV and I'm like, can you smile a little bit? And people were saying, oh, it's past his bedtime, he's tired. But let me tell you something. At 10 years of age, me, even if it was past my bedtime and I was tired, if I walked into an auditorium with thousands of people, I think I would have been a little more responsive. I was like, oh my God. And I was looking at him and he's like, duh. I'm like, oh my God. And then when Donald Trump introduced him, he didn't even smile. Now, he's a cutie pie, and I know he's only 10, and hopefully by January they'll talk to him and say, listen, Baron, try and smile a little when you're, out and about. Because it just was like, is this kid, I have to be honest, I was like, is he okay? I was thinking maybe learning disability at first because of the way he was, just standing there. But I know this is new to him, and in all fairness, he's not used to this sort of thing. So I trust that, he's going to get with the program. Okay, now Hillary Clinton. Oh, God. She fought the good fight. This was a tough election. Brutal. And say what you want about Hillary. I mean, this woman has given 30 years of her life to our American government and to public service. I don't know. I think that in some ways she was held to a different standard because she was a woman. Could be wrong, but I am a transgender woman, and I'm sorry. I just, I think that way. There was just something about her not being able to get over the stigma of her not being trustworthy. And I don't know. I mean, this is a woman that's very intelligent. This is a woman that's very strong. This is a woman that I think many women would be proud of. But it was just something about that whole stigma of, the emails and not being trustworthy. And it is what it is. She definitely was a tough one, though. She saw this election through. And I'll tell you, the fact that she did not become the first female American president, I honestly don't think I'm going to see a female American president in my lifetime. I really don't. Because if anyone was going to become the first female U.S. president, it would have been Hillary Clinton. It would have been her. She would have been the one to do it. Now, I don't know. Maybe there'll be some fabulous female woman that comes out of the ether somewhere, and I may have to take all of this back, but I just don't see it. And it's that trans woman in me again. I also feel that a lot of privileged white men did not want to see a woman become president. Well, I don't know. I just, something about all of this makes me think that I don't think it would have been good for their egos. No, but with the results that we got, I have to question, and it's just a question, is America filled with many racist, misogynistic people? Just a question. I'm not saying it, but I'm questioning. I'm asking the question. Is America filled with many racist and misogynistic people? Because if you look at the dynamics of the way the map was. And oh, by the way, I'm wearing red in honor of all the red states, the Republican states that we have here in America, as opposed to the blue states, the Democratic states. My God, I looked at that map and I was like, my Lord, the whole country is red. I mean, but you start to question now the rural up against the urban. Urban, rural, rural, urban. Because even in my state, Florida, Florida is a red state. It's a Republican state. But the part of Florida that I live in is South Florida, which is a whole a whole other animal. South Florida is the Democratic part of the state. It's a melting pot of people from all over the world, very diverse. All types of people live here. And it happens to be a very liberal area of the country. Liberal, yeah. But then you go up and you get into the Panhandle and the rest of Florida, and it is Republican, it's red. So, I question that whole dynamic. And then I start to think, well, okay, these political pundits, they said that, Trump had a lot of support from, you know, the white rural America, people that, just blue collar workers, not college educated, um, people that basically live within the center. A lot of it really was like the center of America, that Bible Belt, especially. And I say to myself, wow, like, and actually I say to that poor white man that doesn't have a job right now, that voted for Trump, what does Trump have in common with you? Besides the fact that he's white. That's why I bring up race. Because if you're not rich and living an elitist life, there's no real connection in the sense of uh, economics, lifestyle, etc., etc. So it just makes me wonder, like, what got all those people to come out, especially in rural America, and vote for this man that they really have very little in common with. I'd like to think, I'd like to think that people voted for Trump because they wanted to see something different. Kind of like what happened with Obama, I think, in many ways, because I couldn't even believe that I saw a president of color here in America in my lifetime. And I think that that was the thing that happened with him, especially the first election. People were like ready for change and something different. And so I think it's kind of happening again with Trump. Well, these next 4 years are going to be interesting. And you know what they say? Be careful what you ask for. We're going to see how this all plays out. I'm trusting and believing that based on the wonderful speech that Trump gave last night, if that sets the tone for his presidency, we all will move forth as Americans, and American will become greater than what it is. That whole thing about make America great again, for some of us, it's like, well, what do you mean by that? Because yes, some of um, the values from back in the day, we could certainly use in today's world here in America. But there's some things in the history of this country that we do not want to return to. Okay, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But yeah, so that whole thing about Make America Great. But my hope is that we can continue to make America better than what it has become. Because we are a great country. We really are. Should I say, God save the king? No, honey. It's God save the queen. And as a matter of fact, God save this big old queen. Love, peace, and blessings.